Hey book writers, it's Friday, May 28th, except it's not Friday again. So it seems that fate will not let me record a video on Friday anymore. I am possibly going out of town tomorrow, so I had to record my video today and read my book today. And so I didn't read Sarah's recommendation this week because of that. I'll read it next week for sure, but I had to read a book at my disposal. And the book was Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. I hope I said that right because I doubt I did. It was a good book. I enjoyed it, but part of the book is finding out what the characters are going through and henceforth finding out the plot of the book, kind of, even though there's no plot per se-ish. It's more of a book about development and character development, and so I can't say any definitive things with the content of it. But I would like to talk to you about how it is written, because the main character starts the book by kind of introducing herself in a very biographical way. You know, she says, my name is this, and I am how many years old, and I do this for a living, or I do this as a job. And from there, she just kind of introduces everything, and then it just kind of evolves into the story. And it's a very strange way to see it. It's like she's talking to you. It's like she's telling a story to a really close friend. And like that, it's very kind of tangency. So we'll start talking about a story, and then it kind of evolves into another story, and you get to know most of the things about her life like that. And it's not exactly chronological. It's kind of totally in topics. And this thing is the topic of these 3 or 4 stories, and this is how they relate together, and this is how all of that happened. So you see when I was talking in the first part about this happening, this is why I reacted this way. About the first 20 pages, I wasn't quite sure how it would work. I thought it might not be a good read because of that, but it did work out being really good. And I got me to thinking about the use of tangents, because usually when we think of tangents, it's a bad thing. It's somebody going off with something really boring, and it doesn't have anything to do with the story, and it's annoying. But maybe I kind of want to be in a conversation right now and have somebody go off on a tangent, because I think that there's more to them than we see, possibly after reading this book. Because I think tangents allow you to see how things are connected, and how things are important, what they matter, what they mean, in a bigger context. And usually when they seem like they're really going off on something else, maybe they're not so much if you actually took time to consider it, or maybe if you knew more of the story, but I'm sure I'm just confusing them with metaphors now, but maybe they're not too different in their purpose. And so I've been thinking about that with this book. I haven't been able to think about much else more because I had to read it just now. And I actually really enjoy reading this book right now because I've just graduated from high school and I'm moving out of town soon, and my friends are moving across the country. And this book is kind of about, you know, changing eras and how relationships change over time. I think it helped me connect to the characters a lot more and connect to the story a lot more than if I'd read it 2 months ago or if I read it a few years from now. So I really enjoyed this book, and I am glad I read it, and I recommend it definitely. So questions. Lauren asked last week if we cry during books, and usually I don't cry during books unless it's like a really big series or it's a really large book where I've really gotten to know the characters a lot and I'm really attached to them. I know I cried during Mockingjay a couple of times, and I know I cried reading Ink Death and the Harry Potter books. It takes a series for me to cry usually. And Dan's question about imagining characters different than the author intended them to be, and I don't remember any specific circumstances because usually when I have to do that, I don't like the book too much. And that is it. So everybody have a great weekend, and Dan and I will see you on Monday.